So I wanted to do a video today on how to pick the correct shoe size, because that's something that is like very misunderestimated in something when you're buying a new pair of shoes, that people don't really get the right size shoe. So I kind of wanted to do like a beginner's guide to picking the right shoe size, is to make sure that you've got comfortable feet, because comfortable feet is going to make a huge difference when you're running. I, for example, just did like an ultra run and I used the one pair of shoes. They fit perfect and they feel good around my foot, and I got zero blisters, no hot spots, and feet felt great, and coming off of it, no problems at all. So, importance of the correct fitting shoe is really important. So I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks of things that we need to do to get that right shoes right. So first of all, you're going to need a mask, tape measure, and scissors. Just kidding, sorry, that's my attempt at humour. You don't need anything of them. All you need is, running shoes to try on in a shop or wherever, and some running socks. So, one thing I suggest first of all is, if you're trying on new running shoes and you are not aware of what size you are in that certain brand, that's an important fact on its own actually, but brand to brand, shoe sizes are all different. So I remember when I first started buying running shoes, or just shoes in general, I always thought I am size 44 European. So I buy Nike, I buy Adidas, I buy Puma, I buy Hoka, I buy Ultra, I buy Solomon, whatever, I'm 44. That's completely incorrect. Brand to brand, they all vary. And also your day shoes, like from me coming up, and I used to buy Converse, which is a day shoe, you'll be completely different from buying a running shoe for when you use it for running purposes. So we're talking strictly for running purposes now, and I don't wear any Converse or anything. Actually, the only shoes I ever wear are running shoes, because I'm ready and equipped for an adventure. That's what I am kind of theory is, that my clothes, what I wear, should enable me, either I want to run straight away, that I can go run in a comfortable fashion. So what I suggest is that you try running shoes on always in the morning time, when you've not been that active on your feet, because what happens once you've been active and moving around is that your feet get inflamed and they grow and swell and get bigger. So just think of it like, when you're hot and you're on holiday, your hands swell up and it's hard to take the rings off that you've got on. But then if you're in the morning or it's cold, you're not as inflamed. So it's the same with your feet. What you want to do is replicate it so that you can get the right size with these tips that you'd be trying when your feet are not inflamed. Always best to replicate things the way that you'll be doing it when you're wearing the shoes. So wear running socks. Don't wear like office socks, or don't wear like thick hiking socks. So here I've got some running socks, just put them on everything. And what we want to do with the first thing is that you want to make sure with your running shoes, we'll try these Hoka shoes on, they look quite good. I like the look of these ones. So for trying your shoes on, what you want to do with a running shoe is have a thumb's width between your longest toe and the end of the shoe, with your heel at the back. Now, your longest toe doesn't necessarily mean your big toe. It can mean the next one in. So for me, actually, my longest toe is that next toe in, not my big toe. So unlace the shoes, obviously, slide the shoe in. Now push your heel to the back, and what you're going to do, obviously, tighten them up as you would when you go running. Not super tight, but not loose, obviously. And what you want to do is, with your heel at the back, you're going to press here, and you want one thumb's width, as I said, between your longest toe and the end of the shoe. Now you might think that's a lot to have like that much space at the end, but as I said, when your feet swell up, and especially when you're running, obviously they're active, they swell and they get bigger, just like an airplane. did you know something, I think like an airplane expands in size, I think by 7 inches or something. I can't remember, but there's something amazing like that. So you want to make sure you've got that 1 thumb's width at the end of the toe. That also being said, when you are trying your running shoes on and you've got them nice and tight, you don't want to be able to slide your fingers at the back. Now, sometimes obviously like here, if I really force them in, they do go in, but just when it's normally like this, nicely tied, I can't fit in. Because what you do not want to happen is you don't want your heel to be, moving around. You want a good lock down around the midfoot, and you don't want that heel to be bobbing up and down and moving around. Okay, so they fit perfect then. What I also want to do is another good tip, because sometimes it's a little bit hard and tricky to know. What you want to do is take the tongues out of the shoes, slide them onto the floor, and then what you're going to do is stand up onto them. So what we're going to do is we've got the sole tongues out there, put your foot back at the heel where it would be, and on the other one as well. At the moment I'm actually trying towards the end of the day, and I've walked about 15 kilometers, but you can see like on this side your feet will be different sizes, your left foot from your right foot, but I've got one full thumb's width and just a little bit less on this one, I would say. But these shoes are the perfect size for me, and as I said, my feet are inflamed. But that's a really good way to be able to see if the shoe is long enough and the correct size for you there. A few more things to keep into consideration for sizing of shoe is, well, not one shoe fits all. So everybody might have everyone has different types of feet, and it might be different from you, from your friend, your relative. So please don't just go on someone's advice. Okay, I'm a 44. That means I'm a 44. So the other thing that, as I said, is that, well, I didn't say it, but the thing is that you should try them on. So when you're in the shop, obviously just trying on for the size, but jog up and down the aisle. Doesn't matter if you look like a madman trying to run out with with something. Actually, a shop in Paris wouldn't let me try both shoes on because they thought I was going to run out with them. Madness. But yeah, try them on, jog around, see how you feel. Does it feel comfortable? That's obviously always really important, how it's comfortable, feels comfort for you. Depending on the terrain, try and buy the shoe that is specific to the thing that you want it for. You want to run on roads, make sure that you buy a shoe that's got like nice cushioning or a low drop, or that is for the road terrain, or like trail shoes that's got the nice grip that you might need. Obviously, one thing that I would thoroughly recommend is don't buy a shoe on looks. Does it look good? Is that the reason why you're going to buy it? And it doesn't it's not the right type of shoe for you. And equally the inverse, that you should buy a shoe that is really good for your shoe, but it doesn't look really good for your foot, but maybe doesn't look great. Now the great thing with these Hoka shoes, the Speed Go 3s, I love the way they look, and they're absolutely perfect for my foot shape. So actually one other thing is that going from, let's say you buy one pair of Hoka shoes and you go then buy the road pair of shoes, just be careful between, even if it's the same brand, that they can be different sizes and different shapes. Now I found that Hoka are true to size within the brand, and that from the Clifton series to the Speedgoat series to the Tracer series, I've been the same size, and I think that's really good, because with some shoes, with some brands that I've had, they've been very variable between the different types of shoe. I think that really concludes everything that I've got ready to say about tips for trying the shoes on. Now, go out there, try them, and see what feels and looks good for you. You obviously do need something that is going to be the right for your type of foot, and seeking proper advice from a maybe local shoe expert in a store is obviously always helpful. There's a world of the e-commerce on the internet, and these big, gigantic store corporations. But go to your local running store, support them. They're also going to be like, the experts of people who do a lot of running and can advise you to the right way. Obviously, feel free to drop a comment down below if you've got questions or if you've got tips for other people. That would be really interesting for you. What's your favorite brand of running shoe? Drop a comment down below. As you might be able to tell, I am very comfortable in Hoka shoes and I find them great. So yeah, that's what works for me. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hope it's been useful and enjoyable for you. Happy running and have a great weekend.